Have you ever decided to do something great, something that was just going to change your life? This is going to be the best thing ever. And then you hear this little voice in your head saying, stop, don't do it. You're not good enough. It's not going to work anyway. We're going to give you tips on how to avoid that voice. Let's talk about it.
Oh, it's good. Good and terrible.
I love Brotha T.
How you doing? This is Terrion Wilson, aka your boy Brotha T, here with another one. So we like to thank you and welcome to the new life tree, where we like to give you little pine cones of wisdom for your motivation and mental health. If you don't know what that is, stick around, stay on the channel, you'll get it. Remember, I don't know everything, but I might know a lot of things. So today we're going to tell you how to silence that inner voice. Okay, so let's start with this. Who are you? Who are you as a person? What are you comprised of? We're talking mentally, right? We're talking thinking wise. You're comprised of a conscious and a subconscious, right? It goes even deeper than that, but we're just going to keep it on simple today. So your conscious, unconscious. What's the difference between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind? There's a very distinct difference, and it's dangerous if you don't know how it works. Because what you're going to do, you're going to make choices and you're going to do things in life. You're not going to know whether you did it consciously or subconsciously. If you don't know those things, it's hard to keep your life on track, and it's hard to make the best decisions for you as an individual if you don't know if you did it subconsciously or not. Okay, so I know what you're saying right now. You're saying, well, why don't you tell me the difference? Okay, so let's go into it. It's going to be simple. Even though it can get deeper, we're going to keep it on the surface level today. Your conscious mind is things that you choose to do. These are things that you consciously do. For instance, if I'm going to pick up this little box right here, I consciously chose to pick up this box. That was a conscious decision. If somebody walks up to me and asks me a question, most of the time, I'm going to consciously think about the answer before I answer. However, if somebody comes up in a threatening manner and they try to slap my face, or if they try to do something that to inflict some type of bodily harm, I'm just going to react. That's going to be my subconscious reacting, right? That's not really a conscious action. You know, you can argue that some people that are trained for martial arts, those are conscious actions, but to the regular lay person walking down the street who's not trained in that stuff, you're just going to react. What I'm trying to say at the end of the day is that your subconscious works on autopilot. If you've ever had a situation happen and you just reacted, and then later on you're like, why did I do it like that? Why did I say that? Why did I do that like that? That was your subconscious at work. Now, your subconscious can be a good thing or a bad thing for you. The things in your subconscious, I should say. So what are some things that can negatively affect you in your subconscious? These are traumas that happened to you when you were a child. These are things that you've never gotten over. You don't even have to be a child. You can be a young adult and something traumatic happens to you and you keep that in your mind. I want you to think of your mind, in this example at least, like a computer, right? When you go on your computer, you have files everywhere. You have files that you save here, files that you save there. Now, a lot of computer people would tell you, I used to be a computer guy, I used to repair them and all that stuff, that you have things called system files, right? These system files, these are very important to how the computer works. These files a lot of times are hidden, right? And they're put in places where you won't easily delete them because you never want to delete your system files. I want you to think of your subconscious kind of like that, right? Now, what's in those files is the problem. If something happened to you when you were a child, you know what I'm saying? The P word, right? Or the M word, right? If that happened to you when you were a child, that can negatively affect you. If you were misused and abused as a child, that can affect the type of files that go in there. What you want good files to go in there. You want the good times to go in there. You want things that affirm the positive side of you to be in your subconscious. We'll get to how you get like that in a second. So, why am I speaking on negative things being in your subconscious or your system files? These negative things have to be dealt with. Now, if you're driving down the street or if you're having a conversation with somebody and some of these negative experiences and some of these memories come up, a lot of us, not all of us, I've learned to be different with this, but a lot of us choose to ignore it or push it away, right? They'll say, oh man, okay, that again, man, I'll deal with that later. I ain't worried about that. Like, I'm focused on this right now. That's actually a problem. I know it sounded like, whoa, no, that sounded healthy. No, what you're doing is you're sweeping it under the rug. What happens when you sweep dirt under the rug? You don't see it. It's nowhere to be found. It really doesn't affect you on the surface. However, if you do a deep clean and you pick up that rug, what's going to happen? Dust everywhere, flying everywhere. And let me tell you, that's not fun. So what you have to do, you have to deal with those traumatic situations. You can't erase them, right? These system files, what did I say earlier? You don't want to erase system files. It's going to make your computer not work properly or not work at all. What you have to do, you can just deal with the situation, acknowledge that they're there, and look at them from the proper way, proper angle. This is why for some, therapy is needed, and therapy is very important because it allows them to deal with those traumatic situations in a healthy manner. If you deal with those traumatic situations, when they come up in your subconscious or they try to come up, you say, yeah, I know you're coming up. I know who you are. I know why whatever happened. You can stay right there. I'm good. And then you can go about living a more positive life with higher vibration around you. I hope that made sense. So what can you do today to retrain your subconscious? And instead of those negative voices, you'll start getting the positive voices. Let me tell you something personal about myself. When I started reprogramming my subconscious mind, now when I make a choice to do something, I have voices coming in saying, what took you so long? Let's do it now. Let's run and do it. This is the best idea you ever had. Let's go. My positive side of my subconscious is almost delusional. I'm just saying, but it's good to be that way because these restrictions and these limitations, they just come off of your mind, right? And you start believing that you can do anything in this world. How can you do this? How about music actually goes into your subconscious? Music can train your subconscious. I know it sounds funny to some people out there because you don't look at it that way, but it's absolutely true. What kind of music you listen to can absolutely affect the way you think for the rest of the day. Just think about when you're feeling a certain way. When you're feeling sad, a lot of you throw sad music on because you want to match the way you're feeling. You want to be in that moment. And some of you throw music that makes you feel better on. Why do you do that? Why do you do that? You do that because you want to feel a certain way. However, if you make it a daily routine of putting positive things with what we call high vibrations into you constantly, you'll start training your subconscious to think those positive, not those positive things per se, but in a positive way, a positive manner, a positive light. If you start dealing with those traumas and so those negative things, those low vibrational things, guess what? They'll start ceasing to, they won't cease to exist, but they'll cease to come up at inopportune moments because they'll know their place. Hey, this is not going to work if I come up now, so I'm just going to lay here until he wants to address me again or until he wants to recall the situation. I'm not going to come up at an inopportune moment and make him think a certain way. I hope that makes sense to people out there. So what you have to do, you have to retrain your subconscious. We talked about music. What else can you do to start retraining your subconscious? I want you to walk around and just be on a higher vibration. Now, that sounds so, up in the stars, and it sounds almost spooky to some people. It sounds like magic to some. It's actually very simple. I can break it to you down in a simple way. You have love, you have hate. Which side of the fence do you think love is on? Do you think that's high vibrational or low vibrational? Most of you are going to say high vibrational unless you're just trolling. The hate is going to be low vibrational. So, do more things that are high vibrational in your life. What are things that are high vibrational? How about encouraging somebody today? When you see somebody doing something, encourage them. That's high vibrational, right? Because a lot of times they'll even reciprocate those thoughts and those feelings back to you. And it becomes a situation where you're feeding into each other and you're making each other greater. That's high vibrational. Having a smile on your face for most of the day, high vibrational. Now, I know that the normal person is not going to walk around and smile all day, every day. That's insane. But if you smile more often, if you choose to stay away from negative situations and gossip and things like this more often, you'll find that you'll have a higher vibrational throughout the day, a higher vibration throughout the day, and you won't worry about those things that nag you. Stay away from gossip. Stay away from gossip. Don't be a busybody, right? Because these things, they perpetuate a negative vibration, if that makes sense. Stop talking about people. Stop tearing them down, because that creates a negative vibration. The more you do that stuff, the more subconsciously you'll do that stuff. I hope that makes sense to you guys out there. So change your vibration. Change your music patterns. Change your vibration. Next, I want you to take positive steps towards whatever goal you set for yourself. Because if you set certain goals for yourself and you start moving towards that goal or that aspiration, you'll find that more positive things will happen to you. You'll even look at yourself as being lucky, right? You'll be like, man, I done got so lucky this week. Everything good is happening to me this week. It's not that you're lucky. It's not that the universe just chose to give you something. It's not that God just did it because he likes you. It's because you are living a more high vibrational life, and high vibration attracts high vibration. Law of attraction, right? Here we go back to the same stuff over and over again. Why do we talk about the same stuff in the same way over and over again? Because these are laws in the universe. Laws in the universe don't change. That's the whole reason why they call it the laws. These things are here. These are principle laws. These are going to happen no matter what. Like attracts like, right? So positive attracts positive. If you stay high vibrational, you'll attract that. Your subconscious, once it's trained, high vibrations work in your subconscious. Now when you do things, high vibrational thoughts come through. You'll get rid of that other guy, right? You can't get rid of him totally. He's in your system files on your computer. But I'm telling you, you're going to have it in a place where you don't have to access it ever, right? You can push it to the side and you can put the files in your computer that you want. Right? You can upgrade your computer. This is your man, Terry I. Wilson, and I want you to live better out there. Remember, change the way you think. Get to a higher state vibrationally thinking and just watch your life change. Now, it's not going to change overnight, but if you stick with it and you keep doing it over and over again, you are going to see a change in your world. This is your man, Brother T. I'm going to catch you on the next one, family. Peace.